Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Emily, and in today's video I'm going to be trying out a product that I have never used before but has been around for a very long time. It is the Laura Lee Los Angeles Cat Pajamas eyeshadow palette. I've never used anything Laura Lee before. I've mentioned in past videos that I am taking a makeup class by Lipstick Nick, and I actually got this palette in the makeup kit that she gave us. So I'm going to try it out today. I am going to create a smoky eye, which is something that I don't normally do on my channel, and we're going to see how well Laura Lee Los Angeles does. I've never even dove into her makeup before, so let's get down to business. Let's start the smoky eye tutorial and let's have fun. All right, like I said, I am a person who doesn't really do a whole lot of nudes or smoky eyes, and this palette is pretty much just like your nude paradise palette, which I do think nudes are really pretty. I'm just a pretty colorful eyeshadow person. I like having colorful eyeshadow, but like I said, I got this in Lipstick Nick's makeup curated bag that she made for all of us for her class. I just looked at this color scheme and I was just like, this would be perfect to do a smoky eye look with, which I have never done on my channel before. It really is a pretty color story. I actually think Laura Lee discontinued this palette. I was looking at her website yesterday. I don't really follow her or her makeup, so I don't know if she's announced this or something, but I don't think she makes this anymore because I couldn't find it online, or it was just sold out and she just took it off. So as you can tell, I already did my foundation, so I'm just gonna prep my eyes and then we can dive into this palette. Like I said, I have never used Laura Lee's makeup before. I know that it's been around for a little while, but I've never used it. And so when Lipstick Nick sent it, I thought it would be a really good time to try it on my channel. I know a lot of people love Laura Lee's makeup line. I have heard really good stuff. I just have never used it, so I was curious how I would like it. All right, so I just prepped my eyelids. They're all ready to go. Now, before, I used to always take like a loose powder and just set that eye primer, but recently I've not been doing that, and I find that it works just as well, if not even better, because that it has something tacky to grab. And so if you're one who likes to lay down a powder before like I used to do, I would recommend trying something new, what I'm about to do, and see which one you like better. To start off with, we're gonna wanna highlight the brow bone. So this Okie Dokie shade right there looks like out of all the colors in this palette that will go the best with mine. So I'm just gonna dab my brush in there and just kind of highlight that brow bone just up here, just to kind of get it all ready. All right, laid that on down. Okay, now with the smoky eye, you can do various different colors. You can do a blue smoky eye, you can do a purple smoky eye, you can literally do any smoky eye you want. You just need to follow the same kind of technique. Today I'm gonna do a classic smoky eye. But like I said, the technique that I'm gonna use can be used for any color scheme you want. You just have to make sure that you have nice brown transition color that goes well with your skin tone. Then you need to have a few different shades of whatever color you want to do. You need to have like a lighter shade, a darker shade, and a really dark shade. And then kind of a light shade that you can put in the middle if you want to do a halo smoky eye, which is what I am doing. All right, and before I forget, it is very important when you're doing a smoky eye to bake your under eyes, because since you're working with dark colors, if you get it, if there is any fallout, which there typically can be, baking it will ensure that it just swipes right away. So you want to bake with a puff or a brush. I find puffs to be my favorite way to bake. It picks up a lot of product and you're able to just dab it down. This is the Beauty Blender puff and it is actually like my favorite. It has this side to kind of bake and pick up your powder and place it where you want it. Then it has this side right here to buff out your foundation. Then it has this little finger hole right here for like better accuracy, and even right here. So you're never even like touching your face. Then you just want to lay down the powder just right here. Bake your under eyes so that it will catch any fallout that may happen and you'll be able to just sweep it away and it won't mess up your makeup underneath. Okay, now that we are all baked and ready, let's dive in. Okay, so you're gonna want to take a crease brush, whichever one you have. Okay, so to start off, you're gonna want to take a transition color into your crease. Now, what I like to use is a nice brown shade that is the shade of what you would use for a bronzer. Now, that's gonna be different for everybody, but find a brown shade that looks good for you. If your palette does not have that shade, you can actually just use your literal powder bronzer. But you really want that transition shade in there because it's going to pull the whole look all nicely together. So in this palette, there's a couple that I think could work for me. There's this Bomb Diggity shade right there, and there's this Cray Cray shade right there. I think this shade right here is just a little bit dark for me. I think this Bomb Diggity shade is going to be perfect. It's not going to be the star of the show, but it is just going to tie everything together and make it look super good. And then you're just gonna put it in your crease. To get the perfect smoky eye takes a lot of blending. And so you're gonna use whatever brown shade you are using to help blend out any harsh lines. It's gonna help and pull the whole look together. So next, right underneath that brown shade that we just put on, you're gonna wanna take a darker brown shade or even a burgundy, just anything. This is the time when if you were going to do a color, you would pick a darker color like a purple, a dark blue. Okay, so the thing about this palette is that there is not a super darker brown. I could take that right there and that'd be totally fine, or I could take this burgundy shade right there, and I think I will try the burgundy shade and just kind of play around with that. You're just gonna blend that right underneath that brown shade that you just put on. And at this point, this is when you're going to blend and make sure that everything just kind of seamlessly goes together. So you can go between, you can take some of the shade that you just put underneath and some of the other brown shade to kind of seamlessly just blend that all together. So far, I'm liking this palette a lot. There is really no fallout happening right here so far. I think the colors are pretty pigmented. You can see that they kind of blend really nicely together. So far, I think that Laura Los Angeles is a pretty good brand as far as eyeshadow palettes go. Now she has a few other products like lip products. Yeah, so far so good. I think the pigment is pretty good and I think that it blends really nicely. Okay, so we have those two colors blended together. We're gonna dive into the black shade, this oddball shade, which always kind of scares me because you have to be so incredibly careful when you're playing with blacks because once it's on there, there's really no going back. So you definitely want to build it up and take a very light hand with it. And you want to take a packer brush like this right here that is just like a flat top. You can see that I've been using this to do some smoky eyes and it is just this flat thin top. And you're just gonna lightly dab into your black, or if you were doing a different color scheme like your darkest green, your darkest blue, your darkest purple in the palette, that's what you would do right here. And you're just gonna go to the outer V of your eye and go about a third in and just really just tap it down. And then I'm going to take it to the inner corner on the other side, leaving the center of the lid blank. Just go ahead and do it to the other side. And at this point, I'm going to take some of that brown shade and that burgundy shade and kind of blend out the harshness of the edges of the eyes right there. Like I mentioned, this part is going to take a lot of blending and kind of perfecting before you get to the desired look that you want. And don't worry about if the middle gets messy or whatever, because we are going to cut the crease and clean that up. All right, and then when you have tweaked it enough that you are happy with how it looks, then we're going to now cut the crease. So you're gonna use a concealer. So you're gonna wanna take your concealer brush or whatever you use for a concealer brush. And I'm gonna take this Tarte Shape Tape, and I'm just gonna put a little pile of it on the back of my hand right here. And then I'm gonna take the concealer brush, just grab that from off of my hand, and then take it to your crease and tap, tap, tap down. So then you have your concealer looking like this, just in the middle section of your lid. And let's do the other eye. Okay, now after that concealer has dried, you're gonna take a clean finger and pick a lighter shade that you want to put in the middle. Now, I really am liking the Scatterbrain shade right there. So I'm just gonna take a clean finger and I'm just going to swipe down like so. Do the same on the other side. Okay guys, that gold shade is like so pretty and it's coming on like a dream, and just like putting it on my finger, it felt like butter. So Lorelei Los Angeles, I am actually like really super impressed with that. All right, so now that you have that little moment, I'm going to take a small little like bullet brush, which is just like a small little detail brush like so. And I'm going to take kind of an in-between color to blend more seamlessly between the two of those. So I'm going to take this Redonkulous shade right here. She has the funniest names in this palette. And see how it's a little bit darker bronzy. And I'm going to kind of sandwich that Scatterbrain shade that I just put on to try and blend more effortlessly between the two. All right, and then it kind of just created a more like seamless blend between such the light color and such the dark color. Now there is just like a little bit of fallout, but now is the time that we're going to take the bake away, and it's just going to brush all that right off. This is such like a full glam night out moment, and I am like in the most casual clothes right now, so it's kind of funny to me, and I have nowhere to go now because we did such like a smoky, smoldery look right up here. We're going to bring that down to the lower lash line. Now if you're anything like me, whenever I bring anything down to the lower lash line, it always just like drags down, looks like a mess, washes away. So I'm going to try something new to hopefully get it to stay a little bit more put. Now you're gonna wanna take whatever small little under eye brush that you have, just like a nice little packer like this is totally fine. Now this is when you need to put every color that you put up here down here, with the exception of these center colors right there. So I'm gonna take the darkest color that we put in the crease, which was this burgundy color right there, and then you're just going to lightly put it down. The further down you take it, the more smoked out look you're going to ultimately achieve. After you are satisfied with that, now we're going to take that brown shade that we put on the crease very first. That's going to tie the whole look together, and hopefully this will keep the darker color from blending down, and just go right underneath that. I think the hardest part about this is maintaining symmetry between both eyes, making sure that one doesn't drag down more than the other. All right, I am liking how this is turning out. I'm going to put on some lashes, some lipstick, and then we will talk about the overall look. All right, I threw on a lash and a nude lipstick, and this is the final look. I think that smoky eyes are super fun for a flirty, nice nighttime look. So I hope that today's video was helpful. If you've been wanting to play with smoky eyes, wondering a different technique to do smoky eyes, like I said, this is like what they would call a halo smoky eye. There's so many other ways to do smoky eyes, but I just thought it was kind of fresh and fun and on trend, and so I hope that you guys like today's video. As far as this palette goes, Literally Los Angeles, like I said, I don't think she sells cat pajamas anymore, but I'm sure this is the same formulas as she uses in her other palettes that she has, like Nudie Patootie. I thought it was pretty good. There was some fallout, but really not very much. There really wasn't a lot of dustiness in the pan. The black maybe wasn't as bright and bold as I originally thought it was, but you just have to build it up a little bit. No big deal about that. So as far as Literally Los Angeles goes, I would say that if you've been wondering whether to use it or not, I would definitely say that it was a fine palette for me to work with. So that is the tea with that. Probably wouldn't have ordered it on my own without getting it in my makeup kit, but I'm glad I did because, like I said, pretty good formula, and I love trying out new brands. I've been meaning to try out some different new brands, trying to just add different kind of flavors to my channel, and so I'm glad I was able to try this out today. There's so many new makeup launches coming out, like so many. Selena Gomez is releasing her makeup line soon with Sephora. Patrick Starr just released a ton of new makeup. So leave a comment down below, guys, what you are excited for, what you are curious about, what new launches you are excited to try, and let me know. I'm always curious. I love talking about makeup with people, and I love talking about just all the new launches that are coming out. It's been exciting. At the beginning of the year, there was like no makeup launches, and now they're all just all at once. Let me know what you guys are excited about. Let me know any comments, anything else you want to see on my channel. I love interacting with you guys. And thanks for hanging out with me and letting me just do this fun tutorial for you all. Make sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.